Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back. So I just got done watching the season premiere of Survivor 41. It was a really exciting first episode. It was crazy and I'm super ready to talk about it. So right off the bat, I love that this was a 2-hour episode because we got to see a lot of people's backstory. We got to see what people did for a living, where they're coming from. From some people, we even got to see the video of them finding out that they were going to make it on the show. So it really gave the audience a chance to see everybody's personality before we even got to the competitions. I noticed that there were people that stood out for me for both good and bad reasons. Here are just my predictions on how this season's going to go based on nothing but episode 1. So on the yellow Yase tribe, Voce stood out to me in a positive way. Now, I'll admit, I judged this man hardcore at first because he looked like Ben Shapiro in his cast photo. I thought he was going to be a game bot. I thought he was going to be somebody that was super analytical all the time and wasn't going to be able to make any emotional connections with people. But after seeing him in the first episode, I think he's gonna prove me wrong. He seemed very reluctant to show his strength in the first bucket challenge because he wanted to instead stay back at camp to form bonds and friendships and connections. I thought this was super smart and totally the right call, even though, as we saw, it didn't end up working out in his favor. It surprised me that he knew that social connections would be super duper important. He needed to be the one making friendships and forming those bonds with people. And he was a little bit funny too. I thought he was going to be all stoic and serious, but he had a little bit of jokes. He had some personality. So go off, David. I'm excited to see you play. I'm excited to see what you do. Evvie also really stood out to me on the tribe. I could see her playing everybody a little bit. I know that in her bio she hinted that she wanted to work with women a little bit more in the game. But in the episode, I also saw her hanging out at the ocean with the guys. So maybe she'll be able to do both and maybe she'll be able to like squeeze herself right in the middle. Who knows? Only time will tell. We'll see. But good luck, Evvie. Best to you. On the blue Lulu tribe, Naseer stood out to me, but he didn't necessarily stand out in a positive way. So at first, just after reading his bio and looking at his interviews, I thought that Naseer was going to be like quiet and cool and calm and relaxed and just kind of chilling in the background, floating along until maybe the merge, and then he'd really step it up. But I was proven wrong. As we saw, Naseer was pretty much the first person in the episode to start drama. He saw his two other tribesmates, Danny and Deshawn, possibly searching for an idol, and he immediately went back to go tell everybody. Now, I don't necessarily blame him for, being suspicious about them looking for an idol, but damn, Naseer, it's the first day and you bringing all that drama already. Luckily, their team won immunity, so he wasn't in danger of going home, but I'm interested to see how that's gonna affect Naseer in the weeks coming up. And on the green Ua tribe, Shantel definitely stood out to me. Now, she stood out to me before even watching the show just because her backstory was so interesting. Growing up, she had a pretty tough life and was in a gang, but now she's a lot different. She's a pastor now, and she's really had quite the transformation. I feel like that kind of story makes for a really good Survivor player. And of course, I also loved her pray you out the door quote.
I am the mafia pastor. Okay, I will pray for you and walk you out the door at the same time. I have no problem doing that.
I feel like Shan is going to be super quotable, and I can already see her being like a quotable, iconic, memeable queen. Another small detail I really liked was when Shan was humming her little Shantham theme.
I have a soundtrack that I hum in my head when I'm up to evil.
They actually used that same song later in the show when she was plotting and scheming.
But I feel like I have been in every conversation.
We should get rid of JD.
Enough to get a sense of what's going on.
I just thought this was a great detail, and I'm really interested to see if they're going to continue to use this in future episodes. The other person on the green team that really stood out to me was JD. I feel like Survivor may have been a little bit biased towards JD because they are definitely giving him the golden boy edit. They were talking about how he's the youngest player on the season, how he's always grown up watching the show, how he's been practicing for years. They showed his baby pictures. They said who his idols were. Like, they gave backstories on a lot of people in this episode, but JD, they really seem to focus and hone in on. So that shows me that he's going to be here for a good time and a long time. JD had so much charisma. You could tell he was just super duper hyper, super duper everywhere. But I feel like he is going to be an interesting player to watch. Boring is not the word to describe JD. He is anything but. I am very, very interested to see how he's going to play this game, especially being as young as he is. And Genie stood out to me on the green team too. No particular reason, I just believe in Genie, so yay, go Genie. So those are just my predictions of the season so far. Those are the people that stood out to me. Is there anybody in particular that stood out to you in a good or a bad way? And of course, is there anybody who you could see making it all the way to the end? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. I'm going to be talking about Survivor all season. I'm going to be covering every single episode, just giving my thoughts and opinions and updates on the show. I hope everybody has a great day. Peace.